Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Daily EPL News. What a week this was, no doubt about it. Shocks, sackings, we are gonna talk everything about that. Uh, exactly why did Daniel Fark get fired? Did he know about it? Did he not know about it? Everything we will talk about, as well as we will also to cover Dean Smith that came out of nowhere. And if you have followed Sky Sports, I think they were having some fun time because when Jamie Carragher was probed that there was a shocking announcement, everyone thought that it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who is getting fired, but that hasn't happened so far. There have been rumblings which have come out, and obviously he is not off the hook yet. And why did I put David Moyes in there? David Moyes is in there because he has put a real upset during the weekend. His West Ham boys outsmarted, outplayed, as well as gave a tremendous fight to win against the undefeated so far Liverpool. So we will cover everything. But before I get started, let's go with first the video of the day. Yes, that's our new format where we will first cover the video of the day, which we think all the Premier League fans should listen. So let's get started.
I was just about to say, so if you're Manchester United manager today, that's not a surprise to you, what City did.
No, City have been doing that for years. But what is a
So?
surprise? You turn up and you see Manchester United, and you don't know what formation they're going to play. They're collecting a load and load of players, all these great players from around the world, and they don't even know what formation they're going to play. They're chopping and changing all the time. I mean, you've got to have a vision. You've got to be able to see further than the end of your nose and think, right, this is the way we're going to play. No matter what, we're going to buy players for these positions, right? And now let's go and play that position. If things go wrong, if you concede 5 against Liverpool, you don't think, right, the defence is rubbish. Let's just go and put one more player in there. It's ridiculous. And I'll go back to what Jurgen Klopp did at Liverpool, and he's the best exponent at it. He came in and said, this is how we're going to play. Our fullbacks are going to bomb forward. We're going to have a set in midfield. We're going to play 3 up front. And do you know what? We'll go 3-0 up, and then they used to concede 3 all the time. And what did he think? Oh, we're conceding all the time. Let's put more. No, he didn't. It's the best thing in the world because it weeds out the weak. The poor players get weeded out because they get exposed in a formation. All Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does, as soon as there's a weak player, let's cover for him. Let's put even more defensive. And in the meantime, you're buying hundreds of millions of pounds worth of players. It's like, you don't do that. Weed out the weak. If you're not good enough, go and get someone else. But in the meantime, go through the pain barrier because this is how we're going to play. This is how we're going to play, no matter what. So all they're doing at the minute is just covering for weaknesses and looking at the next week. Oh, good team, let's just play loads of defenders. Oh, bad team, let's play loads of attackers. It's rubbish. That's not how you go about things. You have to have a long-term plan. The minute Manchester United going one Wednesday to the next Saturday, just step by step. They're a bit good. Oh, let's panic. Let's play loads of. That's not how you do it. You've got to have a long-term plan. Weed out the rubbish if that's the case. But you've got to go through a bit of pain on the way because Man United aren't mid-table Premier League team, if their target is the top of the to win the league, then that's how they've got to do it. They're not going to do it by just us lot sitting here and thinking, do you know what? He's going to play defensive again today because he's playing against a better team. We're talking about Man United here. I can't stand there and we all agree that that's what was going to happen, but I can't accept that that's the right thing that's going to
Paul?
happen.
Wow. Wow, simply wow. I think I have never listened to pundits very seriously. I think they flow with the wind. If the wind is blowing on one side of the club, then they would all be criticizing about the club. If the wind is flowing on the other side, and suddenly everything will change and they will become rosy about it and they will start talking good things about it. So don't at all believe in pundits, and that's not what Premier League Museum or EPL 24x7 is all about. But this, my friends, was something which I think everyone should listen, because this is exactly what Premier League today is all about. It is all about the project, it is all about the vision that is carried forward by the manager who you hire. And if the manager and the vision that the club has doesn't match with each other, quickly the project turns out to be bad or incomplete or sour, as Tottenham found out, as Manchester United itself found out for many, many years against Louis van Gaal as well as Jose Mourinho. So, but whatever that Michael Owen has said, I totally and totally agree with that. And kudos to Michael Owen. I think this was a very passionate, I wouldn't call it a rant as people term it as, because I still think this was very objective, very obviously animated, but something that truly depicts whatever is going on at Manchester United and whatever good has happened at Liverpool. So, if you like it, please do let me know your feedback and your comments as well. I think this we thought was pretty intriguing, and we will try to bring every day one of such videos, right, which we think is something that you should be listening to. So you don't need to listen to every pundit, but definitely I think not Paul Scholes, because I think Paul Scholes sometimes gets too critical, but definitely something that everyone, uh, talk should everything which should be objective. So that's our video of the day. Now coming back to the main topic, weekend of shocks and sackings. So what exactly happened in this weekend of sackings? One, Daniel Fark. So Daniel Fark got sacked by Norwich City. We knew it would have happened. I mean, how long could have Norwich City continued with the kind of sympathy gaining as well as kind of you know losses that they were having, and probably Saturday's 2-1 win at Brentford never really was expected by any Norwich fans, not even the board. So that count came as a surprise. So people who are thinking that did Daniel Fark know about the sack before Brentford match, then probably he did not know. In fact, the players did not know as well, because if you look at what Timo Pukki came out with his post-match comments, they were all fighting for the club, for the manager himself. So when the squad actually got reconvened later in the night at the training ground, at the Norwich Colony training ground, then they all actually thanked Daniel Fark for the efforts and the kind of inputs that he has given in their careers, as well as the years that he has served, and that tells a lot about the kind of respect that Daniel Fark gained. Unfortunately, Norwich City, right after I think the Chelsea 7-0 mauling that they had, and then after that a defeat against Leeds United as well, that just made them believe that there is a difference in opinion between what they think as well as what the manager thinks. The manager thinks that the signings, letting off Bundia, was a big miss, and they should have replaced it with good signings. And what the board thought was that the manager is, wouldn't say cribbing, but they disagreed with the manager that no, it's not the signings which are bad, it's the way you have to get those signings to work in the team. So the decision to fire Daniel Fark was actually decided before the Brentford match. No, he did not know about the firing, but then post match he did get informed after his post match duties were covered. So that was something that we thought we will clarify exactly what was the timeline and what really happened behind Daniel Farr getting fired. The next signing obviously was something that came from nowhere. Like I said before at the introduction, this was a firing which I think nobody anticipated, but obviously people thought this was a big blip that had come in. Uh, it was a pretty big blip that had come in Aston Villa's game, which was now 5 defeats on the trot. And did Dean Smith deserve to be fired or get sacked? Absolutely not, as people say. But this is my personal opinion and just my personal opinion. I think he deserved to be sacked. Yes, we can get trolled as much as for it, but the reason is because look at the first season. I mean, there are managers who are pretty good at the championship level. Like, for example, Daniel Fark. He has everything it takes to get Norwich City every year out of the championship into the Premier League. But there are managers who are good at the Premier League level. And Dean Smith probably is not a manager who is good at Premier League level. Why? Because number one, look at his first season. They barely managed to get out of relegation, and probably in part thanks to the goal that was disallowed against Sheffield United. So, definitely something which I'm sure if you remember what had happened at that time, we will post a video as well of that maybe tomorrow. But this was one of the that was the first season. The second season, yes, they performed really well, but yet where did they finish? 11th. So a club like Aston Villa, who has a great history, great past, League Cup wins, and truly one of the strong giant clubs that again did not has not done well in the past decade, deserved better. And obviously, Jack Grealish was sold, the money came in, they got few players, but they never really gelled, and that really shocked the board. It's not, and if you look at the statement that Christian Purslow has said, he actually said that Dean joined in 2018 October when the team was really struggling in the championship, and he really transformed them. But everyone knows that everyone knows that the reason is to give time for a new head coach for a new set of results, performances, and obviously the league positions. They want some improvement. Now, the critics might say that this was a blip, and do you just fire a manager for a blip? Then how would have a guy like Sir Alex Ferguson sustained, or like Arsene Wenger sustained? That absolutely is true, but this is a whole new game of Premier League. I mean, here a board which sticks to the manager during the tough times, like what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is currently having, gets absolutely ransacked by the fans themselves. I mean, it's not just the board or the players who go revolt against the manager, but everyone. And gone are the days when Sir Alex Ferguson, I mean, who remembers now that when Alex Ferguson told Manchester United that you better stick by your manager? I think that's not the world anymore, and it obviously has evolved. So, Dean Smith, did he deserve to get sacking? I think he did because the fact that his Premier League record wasn't as great as people make it to be. He's a great manager, but definitely not the Premier League manager, or at least not with the Aston Villa club. Maybe he gets another opportunity at a club like Watford. Maybe Ranieri, we'll talk about that in some other day, but definitely not with Aston Villa. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So we have talked in bits and pieces about what exactly is going on with Manchester United, especially the Michael Owen rant. So how is he still surviving the sack? The only reason why he's still surviving the sack is because, and only because, at the moment when I'm recording this, it's because they just don't know which manager to replace him with. Zidane has refused, at least on the reports that have come out so far, and Conte has now gone, and probably he was not even getting considered. And Ralph Ragnick probably is somebody who is board very afraid of getting on a shorter term basis. So who do they go to? And that's the reason why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still sticking. But if the reports today morning are supposed to go by, what it tells is that the players have already revolted. And to me, and this is probably another day, another topic, I think it's all coming down to Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I researched it further. Ole has a blame to take on that. So, if he gets fired, initially I had sympathies for him that he was forced upon with Cristiano Ronaldo. But then I later researched, and that's not the case actually. The case is that he himself, so that it Ronaldo doesn't go to Manchester City, he gave his okay to getting Ronaldo. So it's Ronaldo who has rocked the boat, and I'm taking this with full responsibility because a guy like Bruno, who should be thanking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the kind of opportunity he's giving him in the Premier League, the kind of play that success that he's having, it's all due to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So a guy coming and revolting against him and his coaching staff, I think there is a kind of mutiny of the Portuguese guys that is happening because if you think about it, Diego Dalot doesn't play. Bruno Fernandes, he has a partner in crime with Cristiano Ronaldo. So everything, and then Paul Pogba, right? That's another saga that's going. So that's too many of unhappy players or rumbling players in the squad, and that's probably what the reason is why I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is surviving the sack, but the news may come out anytime as we are speaking. But the mutiny is all because it all got started with Cristiano Ronaldo, because this group was a happy group till last season. In fact, even before Cristiano Ronaldo came. So coming back to the point, how is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still surviving? It's because of the lack of the manager. And is this the first time that so many managers have got sacked? That must be another question that you would be thinking about. That is this the first time that so many managers in English Premier League have got sacked? Well, the answer is no, because the fact is that this is too little a managers who have got sacked. Because in 2004, 2005, you wouldn't believe it. There were six managers who got sacked just within 3 months. August, September, October. 3 months and six managers got sacked. I can tell you the names as well. Sir Bobby Robson, Paul Sturrock, Tony Parks, John Carver, Graham Souness, Gary Mixon. All of them got fired in the first 3 months of the Premier League season in 2004, 2005. And of course, this is only considering the October month. If I talk about the November month, then there would be astonishing Nine. Nine sackings in the first 4 months. So don't get surprised. Sacking is not a new thing in English Premier League. We'll talk about that in another topic as well as to why, the clubs fire the managers and no longer they have any patience with even a blip like what has happened in case of Dean Smith. So that's all for our presentation today. Uh, if you like it, please do let us know, and please do subscribe. Please do follow us on Twitter. We are posting daily news updates as well, and those are authentic news updates. Those are not the punditries or the rumors, etc. So do like us and join us there. It will get us more motivated, and we will see you tomorrow with another update. Thank you and have a good one.